If you knew the earth was dying, if they said this on the news, if they would clarify the picture instead of seeking to confuse. You could see the ice caps melting, if you could watch the oceans rise, you could see the consequences right before your eyes. If you knew the kids were dying, if you could look inside the river where their food comes from, filled with cyanide. If you could hear their parents pleading, if they were looking right at you, if you could feel the anguish in their hearts. What if you knew the bombs were falling, they showed them hit the ground, you could see the bodies flying, if you could hear the sound, if you could see the rubble where the hospital once stood, if you saw the child's lifeless limbs, would you hold them if you could? If you knew that they were lying every time they spoke, for every laser-guided pinprick there were lives lost in the smoke. If instead of just the generals they had doctors too to describe the carnage of the cluster bombs. What if you knew what they were saying when they think you cannot hear? If you understood what they do, if for you it was so clear, if you knew they shut down the factory in an economic ruse, would you kiss the cheek of the child in the sweatshop that makes your shoes? If every time we went to war to fight our evil foes, they told you we were really fighting for the good of CEOs, you could feel the hunger of the many, see the riches of the few, if they told it like it is. What if you knew that you were living in a huge conspiracy? Would you leave your suburbs, get out of your SUV? Would you hit the streets and fight for all our lives? Will you hold your ground when the stormtroopers arrive? If you knew the whole planet depended on what you did now, would you take command with the speed our times allow? If the pundits told the truth for just a week or two and real life was shown on TV, what if you knew?